Alright, hello everyone. Got a special treat for you here. Actually, let me shut the window. My very first muckbang. I think I pronounced it correctly, hopefully, but didn't make it a lobster one. Went down to the local store and picked up a lobster, and I'll be eating it, eating all of it today. Alright, let me get started. Ooh, there's tamale. I think I'm gonna go get a fork and spoon real quick. Alright, we're back with the lobster. And I don't know if anybody's ever tried the tamale, but it is good. So you take a little bit, dip it in some butter. It's like lobster butter. I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Darren Deacon. Thank you for watching this YouTube channel. And hopefully this will be the first of many more to come. Everybody has their own technique, and I've kind of found that there's no right or wrong way to pull a tail out. Ooh, that is hot. And it looks like this was a female. They must be out of season because there's a very small amount of eggs. And I mix that with a little bit of tamale. And of course, just regular butter. So good. Now, pull this apart. Just grab on right here. Pull back. Look at all that beautiful tamale in the head. Nice, hot, and steaming. Of course, we will get rid of all of the gills, but this one looks like it has a bunch of fat around the gill, which is also really good to eat. Now, a little backstory on me when I pull the gills out. I'm from a little village called Alaskan, and out there it's really hard to get live lobster just because the airlines doesn't accept shipments of live animals for eating. So this is a special treat. I've currently am living in the city of Anchorage, and if a lot of you haven't been or heard of Anchorage, it's in Alaska. It is a very beautiful city, and I highly recommend that people come to visit. In the middle of summer, they have about 18 hours of daylight here, and it's you can enjoy the city all day and all night, actually. Now, when I was younger, I didn't like the head. Sorry about that. I'm not the only one who likes lobster. But after a while, after trying it a few times, it really becomes delicious. In fact, near the tamale, there's a little bit of like really soft fat and brains or something with meat, and that is so good as well. So juicy. A trick I learned, just dump a little bit of butter in there, scoop all the fat and stuff, and you kind of mush it all together, and then So one of these days I'll have to do a very traditional and unique muckbang and eat a gudak, or as it's called in my native language, Athabaskan, is Alaskan. And it is a fish ice cream, but it should more accurately be described as sort of like a like a fish frosting or something, because it's not really light like ice cream. It's kind of very rich like frosting. Here's the first bite of the tail. That's very delicious. Well, the tail is really kind of a delicacy. Meat's very chewy, very flavorful, and it just tastes really good. Inside the tail, this is a very, I think this is fat. I don't know how well you guys can see it, but yeah. But I just enjoy every part of the lobster that you can. I'm sorry for using a pan. I hope everybody could see into it. It makes cleanup easier. Now, you just take these, break them away. Take the legs, break them away also. And then that allows you to tear open some of the meat. Have at the juices and pick it out. This adds, I think this adds some fun to eating a lobster, because you really get to clean it good. And in Yupik, the word for it is buluk, and it loosely translates to cleaning something, cleaning your food good. You know, so if I'm gonna buluk this, it means that I'm going to eat a lot of it. I mean, eat it clean and not waste any. And then bite the tail. It's kind of funny because I couldn't find a lot of videos on lobster tamale. It was obvious that people were eating it and liked it, and I was a little nervous at first whether I should or not. And after trying it last time, I highly recommend it. I say that, you know, whether or not you think you like it, you should at least try it once in your life. Of course, there's the stating that the tamale, it filters out all the toxins, but this was a Canadian lobster, and I was hoping that Canadian waters would sort of be cleaner, but that's an unknown. I'm just figuring. And the Canadians say, or they say, I think their Food Administration recommends eating no more than one per day. So I haven't had lobster in a few weeks, and I was craving it. And we were talking about making YouTube videos, and, you know, being from Alaska, I just thought that this would be a great way to, instead of celebrating a 400th video or something like that, which I hope to get there to a video at that time, that I would start out my career on YouTube and with a lobster. eating a lobster. Oh, and there's more, a little bit more tamale. We get little pieces of cartilage or shell in there, and they're pretty easy to pick out. Of course, my fingers aren't as dainty as I would like, and so it makes it a little tougher, but the rewards, maybe it just makes it taste greater because of the rewards. So I don't know if you guys noticed, but I got my 3 little dogs down here, and they're patiently waiting. I think they think this is a steak. They're gonna get the bone. Or they know it's lobster and they want some of the meat. Which, sorry guys, I'm keeping this all to myself right now. Oh, what the heck. Let's see if they'll want. Yep, they want some lobster. Number 2 and number 3. Yep, they all wanted a little bit of lobster. So after we're all done, the inside lobster is empty. And let me see, what are those? But those are the ribs. Here's the actual head portion with just some pieces of claws, a little piece of meat. It pays to clean the entire lobster and always look over places that you thought there was none. And that way you get the most bang for your buck, so to speak. Oh, there's more of the tail. And again, if you're wondering about Anchorage, it's a very beautiful city. It's very fun, and how do you say it? There's a lot of exciting things to do, winter and summer. Although summertime, the prices go up quite a bit. The wintertime, the air is really clear, and you can still see the mountains. I'll have to do some videos on Anchorage just because I recently moved here, and the villages, we call it Bush, Alaska, they're a really beautiful place too, where, I mean, you know everybody in your village, and everybody in the next village, and the next village, and the next village, and they all know you. Let me go grab scissors real quick. Excuse me. And I should be taking a rolling pin with the arms, but what I like to do is just carefully snip part of the arm away, and then you get this little bit of meat in there. Like I said, the rolling pin method seems to work a lot better, although I haven't tried it, but I've watched it on YouTube. Hopefully you're enjoying this video, and you'll like and subscribe to my channel, to where here in the future I'll be having more Alaska-based videos. It would be nice to get the boar tied on camera. I'm not sure if people realize that Anchorage has one of the largest tides in the world. I want to say it was 2nd or 6th, which is a big difference. But it's a 30-foot tide between high tide and low tide. And that means when the tide's coming in a certain time of the year, they have what they call a boar tide that goes up past Beluga Point, and there'll actually be a 2-foot wall of water, like a wave, washing in up the inlet. And people go out there, they'll go surfing. You have lots of kayakers, whitewater kayakers that go out there and surf the boar tide. And it's over really shallow water, but it definitely isn't safe. And if you are thinking about doing it, you should take precautions and speak to locals, because they will know when to go, where to go, and if it's too dangerous, because sometimes the year it's either too dangerous or there's no boar tide. Everybody has their own technique. Wow, that water's so good. Just like, it's like lobster water. They should actually have a flavor like that you buy at the store and be like, hey, you see that? I'm actually getting some lobster water. And then it could be like a health drink, you know. I'm sure a lot of people would enjoy it. And this one has some pretty sharp spines on it, which make it a little more difficult to open. But there we go. Then inside you just get out all the lobster. And by the time you're done, you should literally have nothing left in the lobster to eat. No meat, at least. Now I was kind of wishing that I didn't eat the tamale so fast, because it would be nice to have a little bit more tamale. Ooh, and there's quite a bit of little fat on top of that, or whatever they would call this. I'll have to look it up and Google it. Tastes nice and delicious though. And then well, that's tough. Don't be afraid to utilize some tools. That's what differentiates us from the animals, is our use of tools. I don't know if you guys can see that in there, but that is a very, very fatty claw. Again, if you are enjoying this, please like and subscribe. If you have any suggestions on to what next I should try, please leave it in comments. Actually, I think next I'll try a small jar of our dried fish that we dry. It's put up in the summer times out in the Delta. It's a lot of work. Even though it's one jar, We don't have that much because of fishing restrictions. So, on to the next arm and the last piece that we'll be having. And today, just got done with lineman training, and last week I did a what they call a learn to return class with a learn to return here in Anchorage. They offer exceptional survival class training for surviving bear encounters, surviving air, land, and sea, aviation, land, and water survival, and tower training. They're a very good company. I highly recommend them, and it's a very fun training, although very intense to go through. Now, I never used to suck the water out, but I watched a muckbang video from Korea, and the guy was drinking all the water. So I decided to try it. And there was a reason that he was drinking it, because it's good. You could somehow get butter into there, it'd be even better. But who's complaining, right? Let me try add a little butter into there before that was better. Ooh. I don't know if you guys can see all this water and fat that I was talking about. And I'm just going to stir up left my butter, add some in there, stir it up. That's delightful. Yes. Looks like a fat almost. And the last of the claw. We plop that in there, and so tasty. That was a time where you pick through the last of everything, and because there's people saying yes I do, realize I didn't clean all these little arms. I don't know if you guys seen how that kind of came out of there, kind of squashed out. That's the theory. You start at one end and you squash all the meat out with the rolling pin. And from what I've seen on YouTube, it works very good. Now, if anybody's wondering what words I've been using, I'm part Athabaskan, called Bogachuk. I'm part, and that's Indian. I'm part Yupik, which is coastal Eskimo from the YK Delta. I'm also part German and part British. So I guess you can call me conflicting. I'm a good Heinz 57 kind of guy. And Alaska, I just can't say enough about Alaska. If you guys like tunnels, there's a Whittier Tunnel. I think it's the Anton Anderson Memorial Tunnel down near Whittier. It's about 2 miles long, one of the longest tunnels in America. I highly recommend it. When you're all done, it's fun to scrape up all the little pieces. You sometimes find some more tamale, which I've kind of gotten a slight addiction for. And there it was, a little piece. Again, water. There. There. Thank you very much for watching this. I hope you enjoyed it. I know that I did, and what do you call it? Maybe I'll be a first and see if you can eat a lobster eyeball. Shouldn't be nothing wrong with that. What does it taste like, you ask? The lobster eyeball? Well, it's kind of chewy, but it disappears quickly. Now remember, when you're eating a lobster, don't eat the gills. Remember, they're on the side. They call them dead man's fingers. And although I've never tried one, other YouTubers say they taste bad. There's a little bit of fat and skin. If you call it skin. But thank you again, everybody. Hope you have a fun, safe weekend. And I had better get to cleaning up. Thank you for subscribing. And in Yupik, we would say Buha, means goodbye. Waka is hello. And just in case you want to tell your significant other or your kids, kin gum kin, because I love you. All right, see you guys later.